A new deal to eliminate agent commissions could change the game for the real estate industry. What are the implications for home buyers, home sellers, and agents? Well, that's what we're getting into in today's video. Hi, and welcome back to Stop Being Sold. My name is Michelle, and I'm here with Brian. And in this video, we're breaking down the facts, non-sensationalized facts, and we're discussing the implications of the recent realtor lawsuit settlement. And Brian, there is a lot of hype and a lot of doom and gloom in the news right now. And I'd go as far as to say it's a little bit misleading because if you just read the headlines and that first paragraph that comes after it, it's like the end of the real estate market as we know it, and everyone's getting screwed.
Yeah.
But it's not really that bad, is it?
No, it's not. There's a lot more going on here.
Well, so break down for us what brought this on, and then let's get into the impact and what this means for, well, buyers, sellers, and agents moving forward.
Okay. On March 15th, a $418 million deal was struck that would resolve lawsuits brought by home sellers who accused the National Association of Realtors of settling unlawful agent commissions and indirectly inflating their home prices.
Yikes.
Yeah. So you got home sellers behind multiple lawsuits against the NAR, and several major brokerages argued that the trade group's rules governing homes listed on the MLS listing unfairly propped up agent commissions. The rules also incentivized agents representing the buyers to avoid showing their clients listings where the seller's broker was offering a lower commission to the buyer's agent. As part of the settlement,
Wow. Sorry. Wow.
yeah. As part of this settlement, the NAR agreed to no longer require a broker advertising a home for sale on MLS to offer any upfront compensation to a buyer's agent. The trade group also agreed to require agents or others working with the home buyer to enter into a written agreement with them. That's meant to ensure home buyers know going in what their agent will charge them for their services. What this boils down to is that buyers have got to reach into their pockets a little bit deeper. This could mean less houses being bought because you're worried about coming up with the money to buy the house, your
Yeah.
moving costs,
Costs.
closing costs, everything else.
Sure. Well, this is not in effect yet. It still needs to be approved by the court, correct?
Correct. If approved by a federal judge, it could go into effect middle of July this year.
Okay.
And if the judge approves this, it means that the longstanding standard 6% commission would be eliminated in theory, and buyers would be responsible for their own agent compensation.
Expand on what you mean by eliminated in theory, because this is supposed to eliminate it.
Yeah. Based on this deal, the buyer's agent's commission will be removed from the MLS system.
Okay.
That makes it difficult for buyers and buyers agents to know if the seller is going to pay their commissions up front.
Sure.
Right now, the MLS shows the buyer's agent commission and what the seller is willing to pay. So now the buyer's agent will need you to agree to pay them to represent you for buying a house in the form of a buyer representation agreement.
But don't most agents do this already? Where if I'm going to sell my house, I go into an agreement with the realtor who is representing me as the buyer
Right.
agent?
Yes, they do. The good ones do.
Okay,
But
got it.
this is the critical piece. Let's say you agree to a 3% commission to your buyer agent and you're hoping the seller is willing to pay for it.
Okay.
Now, remember, if this deal goes through, MLS will no longer disclose the buyer's agent commission that the seller's willing to pay, if they're willing to pay anything at all.
Okay.
So now you don't know up front what the seller's willing to pay toward your buyer agent commission, and that's a problem.
So when you go to negotiate the contract with your buyer's agent, you won't know what you're going to have to come up with and pay out of your pocket for? Is that what?
Exactly. It's all
Okay.
going to be negotiated at the time of the offer
Oh,
instead of up front.
Okay.
Yeah. So once your offer submitted, your
Mhm.
buyer's agent will now be able to see what the seller will be paying towards the buyer's agent commission that you agreed to with your agent.
So what if the seller isn't willing to pay the commission?
If they're not, you have to come up with the extra commission amount to pay your buyer's agent per the contract that you agreed to if you want to buy the home.
Got
So
it.
in theory, if the seller's paying 3% commission to the listing agent and agreed ahead of time to pay 3% to the buyer agent, guess what? The 6% still there. It's not actually eliminated.
So what's really going on here is that you're putting the deal in the hands of the buyer and the seller. It means that they're the main negotiators now moving forward, right?
For sure. You're going to have to be a better negotiator or end up paying the commissions you're already paying now because you're paying for the experience of a good realtor to protect you. Just remember that, though.
Right.
Which brings us back to the fact that you're still paying the standard 6% commission if 3% on each side, right? So
Right.
what changed except for the commission amount isn't disclosed up front.
Well, that and having the contract, which you said earlier, good agents do that.
Yeah, they already
And
do
that's
that anyway. So
right.
remember, the buying process has always been about what people are willing to buy and sell at any given price.
Hmm. So the sky isn't falling like the media has led us to believe, which is how we really started this,
Right.
right? Personally, all I see is that buying and selling a house just got more confusing and complicated because no one knows the rules going into the negotiation
Right.
and maybe getting a little bit more expensive because, like you said earlier, if you're not a good negotiator,
Well, that's it. You're right. Last thing for me though on this here is we say this all the time on this channel. Make sure you read the fine print. Know what you're signing.
yeah, absolutely. I know you're bound. Know what you're willing to pay up front. I mean, this is the no.
Right.
Maybe everyone needs to go take a negotiation class.
And we do not give negotiating
No, we
advice
do
on this
not.
channel.
We're no, no, no. All right. Well, this has been a great conversation, Brian. Thanks for breaking this down. If you like the content of this video, please hit that like button, help us grow this channel, and do subscribe and leave us a comment. We want to know what you think about the
Yeah.
settlement. How do you see this affecting home buyers and the real estate market as a whole? And do you think we're so off base here? We want to know. If you don't agree with us, let us know. Let's have a conversation.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks so much, Brian. And as always, thanks to everyone who watched.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.